Strike now as we pick up the second ball of the first over. Imran Khan is the bowler.
A quick run here, but possibly they picked the wrong end to throw out there. Ian Botham was probably struggling more than Mike Gatting.
Yes, I think you're right there, Ray. There's a lot of hesitation here. Half, stop, start, and really, Ian was in dead trouble. Ian Botham was in dead trouble, but possibly because he was left-handed, he felt it was easier to throw at Mike Gatting's end.
And Codera is, in fact, bowling in rubber-soled shoes today, not the spikes. Not that that makes any difference if it runs down the wicket. Mike Gatting's favourite stroke again, off the back foot, square on the offside. That's where he gets a lot of his run. In the 52nd over, that last four from Mike Gatting brought the 150 up for England. Imran Khan will be bowling to Ian Botham. Now that's 4 runs, just playing defensive shot, and it runs away down to third man. No chance of the field stopping that, and that's Ian Botham's 5,000 runs in Test cricket, in addition to 373 wickets and 109 catches. Marvellous performance over 10 years of Test cricket.
Yes, it certainly is, and that little away swinger, that moved.
Well, that was well left by Mr. Gatting. Well, that was action replay. Very well judged. Imran can't believe it.
No, I think that was even closer, I reckon.
Well, that's out. Ian Botham going for the drive and getting a thick inside edge. And the stump removed out of the ground. That's the breakthrough that Pakistan wanted this morning.
Great disappointment there for Ian Botham. I think you'll probably find that that was a full toss. And he was trying to crash that through the covers. And he gets his big inside edge on it. Yes, that's what it is. It wasn't that big an inside edge either. And a full toss.
Incoming batsman is John Emburey.
Well, tale of woe for England. Certainly the bottom half's right.
And he's gone. The England captain trying to hit Abdul Qadir down the ground. He's taken his second wicket this morning. That's good bowling. Defeated in the flight, he was trying to get down to drive. Couldn't get to it on the half volley, caught by Imran.
Yeah, Mike Gatting coming down the pitch. You see how far away the foot is from that ball. And hit it straight down Imran Khan's throat at wide mid-on. A disappointing end, really, under the circumstances.
There's Chris Broad, who started it off by getting one of the perfect dismissals an opener can ever get.
One of John Emburey's favourite strokes, the sweep. He plays some unorthodox runs, but much of the time he plays with a straight bat and good defence.
Yes, a very short pick-up. Beautifully paddled round the corner. He doesn't try and hit it. He just helps it round the corner. Roll of the wrist, keeping the ball down on the ground.
And his placement is often excellent as well. Nice square drive. That'll race away from the fielder. Yeah, that's a good over for John Emburey. Block and hit fours, very much the method. This pitch is still very good. There's no excessive amount of spin or bounce there for the spinners. They still have to work for their wickets. It's the way you would like to see every pitch on the fourth day of a test match, just providing a little assistance for the spinners, but the batsmen can still play their strokes.
Well, that's a miss hit. And yes, safely taken that cover. Well, Bruce French is annoyed with himself there. No real need to play that shot. 2 days to play, just keep on batting away.
And that's England's 6th wicket out of 7 now, which have gone to attacking strokes. And while you don't expect people to just cut all their shots out, it really won't please a lot of people, that one. 184 for 7. England have just added 40 to their overnight score in 85 minutes and lost 3 very precious wickets.
Tausif Ahmed, the off spinner.
Well, there's a big shout there for a not behind the wicket. I must admit that would have been a very difficult one to give. John Emburey going for a hard sweep from outside of stump. It must have been a bottom edge if he got a touch, and would have been very difficult to give, I would have thought.
Yes, here's John Emburey swinging across the line. Interesting to see that might have brushed the front pad, but a very difficult one to give.
And Foster's the man at the crease.
Is out. Straight off the bat, or so it seemed from here. 8th wicket down for England for 198.
Well, and this is the strength of Tausif. He gets turned. There's Foster pushing in front of his pad. A very sharp catch to short leg there, but Tausif really is a useful performer. He doesn't give it much air, and they only play him when conditions are likely to be in his favour, which is one of the explanations for what is a very good test record, but an extremely useful and sometimes underrated off-spinner.
Bill Edmonds is the new batsman. Although Javed Mirdad is a long, long way back there, still wasn't able to cut that off. Up comes the 200 for England. Not rightly there's applause for that, but it's still a long way to go. It's got the flipper away for 4. Put the ball. Goes into the 30s.
John Emburey's just completed 1,000 runs in Test cricket, and without getting 100. And there's only 5 players have done that, and coincidentally, John Emburey's the 3rd Middlesex player to do it.
One of those unorthodox strokes we're talking about. Those will block everything that looks like being a good ball, and cream away at anything that looks a bit loose.
Well, we see Tausif going wider again, and Emburey immediately spotting that. Foot outside the line and going for the hook. Didn't get hold of it, but a couple of valuable runs.
Good shot. Nice timing, nice placement, picked the right ball.
Yes, Emburey's had this done to him often enough. He's decided when it's in a certain area, then he can trust his eye.
Beautifully timed. Beautifully timed. Very well played by Embury.
Well, this was just in case anyone's needed any convincing about the previous shot.
That's not, I was going to say, that's very, very close. It looked to me as though it probably hit him on the full. Slightly quicker delivery. Edmonds just seemed to play down the wrong line.
Very full-length delivery, this. Tossed well up, just drifting in a little. I think that's hit the back leg. It's a leg break, which an unusual form of LBW decision, but I think we just might see that at the end has ended up hitting the back leg from a leg spinner that straightened up.
There's a nice shot from side on to show it going past the front leg and hitting the back one there. So not a question of the front one being all that far down, which it was. It was down, oh, a yard or more, but the ball didn't touch it. Nor would he have been out had it flicked the front pad and then gone on to the back leg. Four more. .50 for John Embury. Very good innings. Good gutsy knock.
And just look at that, 7 minutes over 2 hours, 109 deliveries, a 6 and 6 fours. It's push, push, block, block, and then whack. And suddenly 4 more runs. He really has built an innings there that has owed very little to fortune and a lot to his technique, temperament, application, just general hard-headed professionalism. And really, I think, looking at the way of some of the England players have lost their wickets today, then his approach might better have been copied by some of them.
And that's Quadar's best ever performance then. 7 wickets for him. Fine piece of bowling.
Well, John Embury looking to hit this one away square, that short arm jab. Quickly, but super catch to give Javed his best ever 7-wicket haul in Test cricket. Applause firstly for John Embury because of his 53, which is his 5th for England and his 2nd of the series, and then there's the man who's done all the damage this morning. Abdul Qadir, 44.4 overs, 7 for 96.
And I should think some more to come for Abdul Qadir. So well did he bowl in that England innings of 232. Gatting and Botham resistance early, and then Embury, a very sensible innings, the type of innings we've come to expect from him. Nothing, well, you wouldn't actually say there's anything pretty about it, but very, very effective. He's got a lot of courage and a great deal of common sense. The rest faded quickly, 232, and the bowling dominated, not completely by Abdul Qadir, but certainly to a great extent. 7 for 96. 44.4 overs, 15 maidens, his best ever figures in Test cricket. Tausif Ahmed gave him plenty of support, but the man who didn't get the figures he deserved there was Imran Khan, who I thought bowled quite beautifully this morning. 18 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 39, and was always dangerous. That was the situation when England completed their first innings at 232. They needed 476 to avoid an innings defeat. Well, here's Martin Moxon now, playing the last ball of the 4th over of the England 2nd innings. Wasim Akram is the bowler, and he's just beaten the Yorkshireman with a short pitch delivery.
Again, going across him on the angle.
My goodness me. That young man is generating a lot of pace here. Pretty quick arm action. And Martin Moxon played at that again. 2 and 2.
it's Imran Khan to Chris Broad. Well, that was very, very near, and somehow the wicketkeeper managed to miss it as well. By signal, but that was very, very close to the edge of the bat.
Close to the bat and not far away from the stumps either. See where that pitched, and it went almost over the corner of Chris Broad's off stump.
As we expected now, reversion to spin. Qadir coming back.
Good shot from Martin Moxon. There was nothing wrong with the ball. It was good length leg spinner. But Moxon used his feet well, kept the ball down.
Yes, the first really convincing shot that Martin Moxon's played against Qadir in front of the wicket, well to the pitch of it.
Imran Khan and Wasim Akram have done the job for 5 overs each. Not many runs have come. Now it's the leg spin of Abdul Qadir and the off spin of Tausif Ahmed.
Oh, that was a good delivery from Tausif. That certainly turned, and Chris Broad didn't know too much about that.
A beautiful delivery, this. Flighted, a bit slower, pitching about off stump, turning.
232 in the first innings, 18 for naught, still 458 behind. And there's 4 runs there for Martin Moxon. And there's a shout, and what a way to get out, really. An off-spinner down the leg side, and no need to play it, he needed to, and just flicking it round, and great disappointment there for Martin Moxon.
Here you can see it turning down the leg side and just glancing at it, and very well picked up by Yusuf.
Tim Robinson, the new batsman, coming in. Dismissal again. Well taken by the keeper. A bit unlucky to get out like that, but the keeper made a lot of ground. Kept down because the ball didn't bounce very high. So a good catch there by the wicketkeeper. And that situation for England now 22 for 1. Well, Chris Broad thinking here's 4 runs, and eventually nearly getting out from it.
And in the end, it wasn't really short enough, I don't think. And turning quite considerably, lucky to chop that down just over the top of the off stump.
Well, that's a fine stroke there by Tim Robinson. But they're over pitching, and Robinson very quick indeed onto that.
Lovely shot. See the front foot coming right out to the pitch of the ball there. Super shot.
And well bowled there, certainly beating Tim Robinson's defensive push.
Well, we'll see, this one turns quite a bit. Pitching on off stump, he's got to play at it. Perfect delivery.
Oh, and that's a miss hit, and yes, a good catch there by Wasim Akram. Full length dive, not a very good shot. I'm just saying, Jack, that they were applying themselves and then they play a shot like that.
Well, you get a sweep like that, which we shall see in a minute, was neither one thing nor the other, because you've got no control over it. We'll see where this pitch is. pitching outside leg stump, bounced a little bit, no way of getting over that at all. Just helped it round, and Akram slowed to sight it in the first place and came in and made a marvellously athletic catch of it. And why not do what he's doing there? Not only disappointed Tim Robinson, because this was his sort of situation where, along with one or two other players, he's got plenty to play for. If you lose your wicket like that in a situation like this particular one, well, it's not exactly on the plus side of your credit ledger. And David Gower now coming into bat. We shall just see how Abdul Qadir got his wicket. Again, it's pitching, you see where it's pitching, down at least 4 feet in front there of Tim Robinson, who thus had got very little chance of keeping over that sweep at all. Again, just emphasises what a good young man's catch that was.
Yes, it was a real stand-up sweep. I've never really quite seen a shot played like that on the sweep before, and no way he could ever control the stroke. David Gower then in what will be his last test match innings for quite a while. And it was nearly all over first ball.
There we are playing for turn. Either the top spinner or in fact the googly, whatever.
And there's 4 more to the man in occupation out there.
Sign of a class batsman. He's played everything defensively in the middle, and suddenly a short ball on it like a flash.
They'll stop that just inside the boundary. The outfield's fast today.
That takes David Gower past Chris Broad.
Very good shot from David Gower. Right to the pitch of the ball that time. Just caressed it away. And that's almost a replica of the stroke earlier in the over, except he's hit it just a little more crisply. Change now. Abdul Qadir, who's been going from the Vauxhall end, is going to have a rest. Imran Khan is going to come on.
And a bit of release there for Chris Broad. But he's doing the job that England require. There's no option but to really play the way he's played, and that was a particularly fine stroke.
Yes, and this is one of Chris Broad's favourite strokes. Timed out beautifully.
Abdul Qadir coming on this end.
There's a shout this time, and yes, David Gower's gone. A little bit lazy there, and bat and pat catch, and Madassa taking the catch.
Once again, tragedy for England. David Gower, who'd played very, very competently and easily, looking in full control, is pushing forward this one. It's pretty wide outside the off stump, really. Little inside edge, and a simple catch there from Madassa. And Mike Gatting coming out. Night watchman, and I'm sure David will be very disappointed about that.
89 for 3, so England back in trouble again.
And I thought with the new batsman, perhaps Imran might continue, but Tosif now from the Vauxhall end. Something happening there. I think Tausif has probably put his finger out. Mike Gatting offering to chop it off with the bat. Tausif appears to be heading for the pavilion. Cracking shot. Mike Gatting's favourite stroke, short, wide of the off stump, and a really positive strike there. Terrific shot.
And there's a shout there, but I don't think it certainly came enough. Mike Gatting getting outside off stump, but of course he didn't play the shot, so that wouldn't have made any difference as the ball was hitting the wicket.
That was a fair shout, but in fact the ball turned and would have missed the off stump, although Mike Gatting patted it away. Good decision there by Ken Palmer, walking away.
The outside edge, but it wasn't thin enough.
Yes, it's going down when it's played. Bouncing halfway to the ring of close fielders and going through the gap.
It's more off the middle of the bat, and the outfield is fast. 2 boundaries in this over where Imran is striving for all out attack.
Picture almost completed now. He's got the last few wickets to get in and then completed.
Tausif coming down towards the pavilion end.
Kisbro played that pretty well. He got a thickish edge, but he did keep it down and got it wide of and let it slip.
Yes, good delivery this. Pitching just outside the off stump and turning quite sharply.
Imran Khan, the Pakistan captain, just leaving the field for a moment. Quader taking over at the Vauxhall end. Oh, Mike Gatting just managing to kick that away. It was just trickling back onto the stumps there.
Yes, hitting the bat, dropping down and just in time. Going straight towards the stumps.
And that's Mike Gatting's favourite stroke. Anything a bit short, and he's very, very strong there. Square on the offside, 4 runs. And the news on Imran Khan is that he is off the field with a strain. I think really they've decided just about where the strain is at the moment. Well, bit of fortune there for Mike Gatting. Coming down the wicket to drive, and whether it's just a faint inside edge, yes, just a little inside edge, so you couldn't really blame the keeper, but bit of fortune there for Mike Gatting.
Well, Gatting lucky not to be bowled, lucky not to be caught, and lucky not to be stumped. On all 3 counts there.
This time Mike Gatting playing the sweep, and there'll be no doubt about that being 4 runs. There's a 50 partnership coming up between these two off 149 balls. Pretty slow going, but that's all England have got to play for at the moment. There's a shout, and this time this was being given out. I must admit, he doesn't look too happy with that.
Tossed up, spinning back in to the pad and out there, nicely picked up. See Broad well forward again. Ball turning back into him. And as he thought, beating the inside edge.
Ian Botham, the man coming to the crease, along with David Gower, not playing Test cricket this winter. Well, again, the Gatton square cut, this time just behind square, and same result, 4 runs.
There's his first run. He's been in for 22 deliveries. Attempting nothing rash at all. It would be ironic if England ever did get out of this huge hole that they're in, if it was one of defensive innings from Botham which helped them accomplish it after all he's done with a bat over his 10-year Test career the other way.
Nice shot. 50 to Mike Gatting. 2 half-centuries in this match for the England captain.
No lack of application from the England captain.
That would have been a marvellous catch.
Well, it's certainly a strange thing to do in the middle of this England innings. He hit it quite well, but he hit it straight into Javid's stomach.
Brilliantly fielded. All sorts of things going on out there at the moment that shouldn't be going on, but Gatting is still there.
Oh, this is really interesting here. All sorts of things going on, and Madassa had hit. Mike Gatting would have been out by yards. Very, very odd happenings. A lot of chances being taken. Really could have lobbed it to the keeper.
Indeed, he could have done just that, and that would have been a crushing blow for England. Mike Gatting a little bit of good fortune there, and earlier in the morning as well. 61 not out he was. 1 more run was added to take the score up to 170 for 4, and Botham had made just 1. Chris Broad out in slightly controversial circumstances there to give Abdul Qadir that wicket. 3 for 67 he had at lunch from 37 overs and 17 maidens. And at lunch, England 306 more runs to avoid an innings defeat, but more important, they had to keep 6 wickets intact. That was an enormous job they faced. Here's the first ball after the luncheon interval. Abdul Qadir is the bowler. Taking strike is England captain Mike Gatting.
Well, that was a generous helping of pudding after dinner, shall we say. A lovely juicy full toss. Mike Gatting is away through mid-wicket for 4. At the moment, there's a bit of a discussion going on. Quade's wanting to leave the field, probably discussing whether a substitute can be allowed. Mustabar, the substitute's just come back on now for Quade. And the new ball is being taken.
As expected, Madassa to share the new ball with Wasim Akram off the field.
And a nice time stroke there for Mike Gatting. Through extra cover, 4 runs. Madassa, of course, not bowled for a long time in this match. Maybe a little bit stiff. Well, Imran Khan's going to bowl from the pavilion, which I think most of us thought he ought to have done before now, because he did have a very, very good spell from this end earlier in the match. That was an edge, but not quite carrying there to 3rd slip. Mustabar's the fielder, the substitute.
Yes, we see Botham relaxed grip and just managing to keep that ball from carrying.
Good length ball, a little bit of width, and that's one area that Ian Botham does like them in, just a little bit on the up, and really that whistling away down the third man. Dasser trying the bouncing, certainly getting the ball head high, but again Mike Gatting rolling the wrist, controlling the shot with the right hand and knocking it straight down to the ground. That's 200 on the board for England. Mike Gatting on 78, Ian Botham on 30. Well, again, Mike Gatting playing the shot beautifully, but unfortunately, Ijaz has got a nasty knock there.
See it again. You see Gatting pivot onto this short one. Again, hit it down as he'd done twice in the previous over. Ijaz trying to take evasive action, but there's nothing you can do when you're in the firing line of a shot like that. He's shown himself to be a brilliant fielder in that position, but not for nothing is it known as Boots Hill.
And Abdul Qadir comes on. It's a reasonable enough shout. He was the quicker top spinner. Bowler's entitled to ask for that. We've gone past leg stump, but not by all that much. Four runs and a good shot. It was the wrong one, I think, and Gatting looked as though he picked it. Played through the spin that was coming into him.
Yes, a wide half volley. And a very positive shot there from Mike Gatting.
Now off spinner Tawseef Ahmed.
Yes, that went off the top edge. It could so easily have gone almost anywhere.
Well, I don't really think they were serious. I think it was just a gentle question to umpire Constant.
Yes, I think if you see this, it's picked up at forward short leg. The bowler has no intention of appealing at all. Goes right off the knee of the pad. And he waits, he sees it's caught, somebody goes up and suddenly the bowler turns round and appeals.
Qadir. It's a good shot. Nice way to bring up your 100. A good innings from the England captain. 45th first-class 100 he's made, but the 9th Test 100 and his second against Pakistan.
That's a fine innings by Mike Gatting.
The off spinner there just over pitching, a bit of width. And Ian Botham straight into that one through the covers. And that's the 100 partnership. An edge, no chance. The ball going right between first slip and keeper, and very fine.
Yeah, no question about that being an outside edge.
That's 250 up for England. Mike Gatting moving on to 150. Quader's bowling from the Vauxhall end. And just tiring a little bit, and Mike Gatting begin to take toll of him. Another 4 there to deep mid-wicket. And that's a good stroke this time, and that's the area that Ian Botham does like, and just outside off stump, a little bit of room, and he's very, very powerful indeed there.
Watch the foot movement. He goes across, forward, and just hits it from where he is.
And that was well bowled, and he cut back, followed Ian Botham as he tried to get away. Certainly gloved him, and falling short of slip.
And that follows him in, and he gets tucked up, and it hit his top hand, in fact, and dropped just short of third slip.
And a beautiful stroke, as good as anything played in the match. But they're just slightly over pitching, and Mike Gatting a beautiful off drive there.
Absolutely perfect this is. He hasn't had to hit it. Just a lovely foot to the pitch of the ball. Look at that follow through.
It's the first time that score is beginning to look a little bit more reasonable. Got a lot of hundreds there where they've needed, but now down to 197. And Imran Khan coming back at the Vauxhall end. That's more like the ball from the bowl on the up through extra covers.
There we see Ian Botham. He's faced 173 balls, and that gives you some idea really of how he's subdued all his attacking instincts, because his highest score in Test cricket, 208 on this ground 5 years ago, he only faced 226 deliveries. So there we are, just 49 deliveries between 36 today and 208 5 years ago.
Really is a dangerous position to stand, that Salim off. You're going to bowl short of length just outside off stump. Both these two, it's their favourite shot, and both of them again cracking that for 4 through the covers. Again, the bouncer almost taking a wicket there. Mike Gatting just a little bit slow, and the ball just missing the edge of the bat. Joseph Ahmed back at the pavilion end.
Four runs. There is a fielder down there, but it's the young lad who's across the other side of the boundary. Well, will they run 5? I don't think they'll bother. 300 up for England, 300 for 4. A bit cheeky. 150 for Mike Gatting.
Well, he deserves the runs, although they in themselves haven't saved the game, but that stay of 5 hours and 1 minute, that's the thing that's done it.
Madassar Azhar is on, and Madassar has been very involved with the game out there today. Not going to enjoy that very much.
Well, Javid found this amusing, and in the end, Botham smiled back, but very painful. Thick inside edge. See it deflected onto those dancing pumps of his.
For Ian Botham.
202 deliveries. 4 hours and 9 minutes, and that was his 9th boundary.
After that boundary, Ian Botham made one more single to take him on to 51. 3:15 for 4. England at the close of play.